All right, working on installing my rear tail lights. So I've been trying to figure out which seal to use for these. So I have three different brands here. One is this foam one. It's by Soft Seal. I mean, I must have bought this, I don't know, 20 plus years ago when I started working on the Camaro. So you know, I don't know, brand this is even Steven make these, but I was just trying these on and they're just junk. They go on, and then they don't even fit right. So you really have to really move them around and make sure you get them in the right spot. I mean, it basically really has to hit the edge of this in order to even seal. I mean, it doesn't even go down in here, and doesn't line up at all. So if you're doing foam seals that don't get down into the groove here to help get that seal without having the seal stick out past the edge, it's going to get really frustrating. And then a previous video you saw, I tried these OER ones, and they're okay. They do have that groove that's in there, and they line up okay. The only problem was that they didn't seem to be thick enough. So when you go to seal it down, okay, there's nothing there. This edge here, that's the inside edge of the light. So the spot where you want to seal is right here, right where my finger is. And then there's no sandwich at all whatsoever. So those won't work. And then I went online, kind of looked around. It's really hard to tell. This one here I got from, I think it's Camaro Central. It's these, it's an OE style. Okay, there's a part number. The quality of the rubber, it's soft. I can feel like it's really squishy. It's more like a cross between a foam and a rubber. So and these fit pretty good. And they do have, again, they have the correct groove where it goes down in. So if we just do a quick fit, and it seems to fit okay. And then you go down here. Okay, see how much thicker this is? Okay, and there's that cushion that you need when you tighten it down and create that seal. The only problem is it's definitely wider than the light, so you squish it down and you'll definitely will see. But when you look at it, there's plenty of room here to cut. So if you want to, I mean, based on what's here and how much it sticks out, you could probably cut, you know, half that lip off all the way around, a good even cut. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of put these on just to see how it looks and how it fits on there, and kind of go from there. So as of now, I'm happy with these. But like I said, these OER, the rubber for these OER ones, the rubber quality is good. It's nice and hard. It's still squish and flexible, but they're just not thick enough. They just won't work. So we'll try these here, and kind of go from there. And then for the tail lights here, so you can kind of see what I'm getting into. So again, not how much light here in the garage. And then just the installation of these is pretty easy. I'll go over those real quick. So when you install them, the reverse lights go on the inside, and then the brake lights go on the outside. And then we've got our bolts here, so you've got 6. So I need to go dig through my bags of stuff and find the rest of the bolts here. And then also there's this little wick that's right here, so you can double check to make sure you have yours. There's 2 for each one. This one here is the original, okay, and then I inserted some new ones. Basically what I did is I got a little bit of what is that? That's from, that's some sealant. It's that seal that I used. I'll show you. Here it is. So it's the remaining leftover seals I had for my Astro vent balls. In previous video, I put the new seals on these balls, and so when I put these together, I had some left over because remember I cut these in lengthwise in half. So I figured this would work pretty good. I can absorb a little more moisture. So I cut a little chunk off, about like that or so, folded it and stuck it in there. So I think that'll work pretty good. You can probably use almost anything that can absorb moisture and pull that out. So that's what I did. But anyway, so we'll continue with getting these installed. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and do a quick dry fit. Again, reverse lights are on the inside, brakes are on the outside. And then so what we're gonna do is we're gonna put our seal on. The seals that I got, they said actually right hand, left hand on it. So when we put it on, you can get it right. So this particular one, so this is the right hand. This one here is a single notch. Okay, so that's how I'm going to do it. The other side doesn't have notches. Okay, so just a dry fit. We'll get that on there. I do push on it. I can feel it, I can feel it give a little bit. My push on. I'm not hitting any edges on the car here. So I'm going to pause it for a second. I'm going to go check on the inside. Make sure it's all lined up. It's not squished down or up or down. Make sure we get this thing in. And right what I'll do is, and then I'll put 2 nuts on it just to pull it tight to see how it fits. We'll go from there. Okay, so on the inside, so you can tell that this, the gasket, it's kind of sucking up into the light. So what we want to do is we want to take your finger and give that gasket a good shove down into the groove. And do that all the way around. Because the gasket's just a tad shorter, so you have to kind of stretch it out. So take your fingers, and then for the other hand, push it tight. And what we can do is, and just snug up your nuts just to hold it. Get my fingers all the way. Let's do that again. Okay, hold that tight. That again. Let me look on the other side now that we've got it tightened down in the right position. Okay, see there. Okay, so pull away, and then what I'm gonna do all the way around. We'll line it up. We'll get that gasket down in that groove all the way around, and then review it, and then see how much of that gasket we need to cut off. All right, there we go. So you can see sticking out all the way around. So you can see where it's sticking out more in one location and out on another. Okay, that's meaning that gasket's not really put in the correct location. So I can't tell exactly, how to adjust it. Just gotta play with it. So I'm gonna take this off. I'm gonna cut about about an 1/8 inch off around that gasket, maybe a 1/4 inch, and go from there. All right, to cut it, so what I'm doing, I wanted to find something that has a consistent thickness to go all the way around. So I found a piece of foam that worked pretty good, that has the right thickness that I want. Okay, you can see some flush here. See how much I want to cut off. So I'll line up. So then I'll get a pen. All right. See there? So that's about what I want to cut off. So I'm going to do that all the way around, because this gasket, that edge has different thicknesses all the way around. So I'm going to draw my line all the way around and I'll show you. All right, well, all the way around, I use a black felt tip. I mean, you can barely see it, but at least you can kind of see where that line is, and all the way around. Some areas where it's not even needed. So there's nothing here. So this was the right thickness all the way around. And look at the corner here. So whatever you use, find whatever you can use that you can see a line. I can just barely see it, so this will work. All right, got it back on. So you can see just a little bit, some areas. A little bit there. On the edge, you'll make sure that's see just a little bit of it. On the inside, so I got each corner tightened down. You can see it there or not. Okay, so I'm going to cut just a little bit on this top edge here, to a little bit at the bottom, right there. I think that's pretty darn good. You know, I can really fine tune it later if I need to, like when I finalize the car, little touch ups here and there. But that's kind of just the gist you want to do, is you want to be able to, whatever gasket you use, you probably might end up modifying just a little bit. And then, so this is kind of it for now, but, so I'll do the other side. The manufacturer, they did put some glue in here to hold those corners in, and probably a little along here. I may do the same. I'm not too sure if I'm going to do that or not. One problem is if you glue it now and then you go in to adjust it later, you can't really. So once you glue it, it's kind of just stuck on there. So I'm going to play with it for now while it's not glued, and then maybe when I do the finally get it fine-tuned, and then I'll glue it. Maybe glue a little bit of in the corners, probably a little bit here, just a little dab, just to hold it in place so it's stretched out and stays. And you stick it on, you're good to go. And then you can kind of see all the pieces here on how fine I'm cutting those edges. So I'll work on this one. I mean, just little bits of a time, a 1/16 of an inch at a time. And then felt tip pen. And again, I used a little piece of foam or anything that you want to use to determine your final thickness of your edge. This here works pretty good because I can bend around corners like that and draw my line all the way around. And then just before you reinstall it, again, you can put it back on here, back on your light, and then put your fingers and push down on it. You can kind of see where it squeezes out to when you tighten it down, and you can probably fine tune it at the edge. I mean, you probably, when you go to prune it, cut it, you just want maybe half the distance of this edge here where you want to sit, so then when it tightens down, it stretches out just a little bit. We'll go from there. All right, that's it. So if you guys have any questions, let me know. Like I said, this is a bunch of different gaskets you can use, whatever you want to choose to do it. This is all original stuff, no custom or aftermarket. These are original lights. Sometimes the aftermarket lights, if you have can cause some problems too as well. Or shoot, even if you have your fender, if it's been redone, it's a different fender. You could have some dips in here if it's not straight, it doesn't seal up right. So, all right, got them on. It's kind of hard to see through the reflections and the quality of my video, but I don't see any gray, sticking out just as I look at it now. If you look under, light is just terrible. A little bit right there. So I think it's maybe just something I can just try to tuck it in. Anyway, so like I said, you just got to play with it, see how it goes. That's it, man.